And so having experienced the first 23 years of my life as an atheist, growing in an atheistic household, and having my prayer answered when I felt completely unworthy and just, yeah, like I didn't deserve to live, basically.
This is The Deep Dive with Adam Roa.
My path has led me into this work of masculine alchemy, really working in the deep, deep spaces, working with the real, as we like to say in Sacred Sons, and really diving the depths of masculinity and our shadows as men. And that was precipitated by my own journey into my own shadows and my own hero's journey through the dark night of the soul. Many dark nights of the soul, I could say. Father wounding, familial chaos, cross-generational trauma, being hybrid, my mother being Taiwanese, my father being Scottish, German, and Dutch, so European mutt. But yeah, coming in with these really divergent energies of East and West and having to reconcile that within myself. I was born in Taipei as well, Taipei, Taiwan. And so living there until I was 5 and coming to the US, coming to the States, and having to adapt to an uncertain world in a single mother household was really challenging. And just growing up on a path of feeling other, feeling like I never fully belonged, just being a hybrid of two different races, I never felt like I fit in fully with either. I think that's a pretty common experience for hybrid. For those of us who have been,
I love it. You keep saying hybrid. That's not something I've referred to myself as generally. I usually say mixed, but now I'm just going to start calling myself a hybrid. It sounds way more sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it does speak to this, us being like a bridge, between different lineages. And I think that just being an embodiment of that, we're inheriting the blessings and the curses of both sides. And we get to do the work within to reconcile these potential opposites and bring them into harmony. And so that's been my path, moving through all kinds of things, but primarily addiction and traumatic and unhealthy codependent type relationships. And yeah, just basically exploring the whole gamut of the human experience, psychonautic exploration, doing self-development work. But basically it coming to head, having a mystical awakening when I was 24 years old. I was on the brink of committing suicide. I had actually made up my mind, made up my heart to go through with it. And so through prayer, God saved my life. An energy of unconditional love enveloped me. It opened my spiritual heart. I was not on any drugs. I was completely sober and wanting to score, and which drove me to this intense self-hate and disgust that made me go, I'm going to fucking kill myself. This is the only thing that I can do to find a way out. And so having experienced the first 23 years of my life as an atheist, growing in an atheistic household, and having my prayer answered when I felt completely unworthy and just, yeah, like I didn't deserve to live, basically. And having my life saved by this force of unconditional love and having my heart open, my energetic spiritual heart opened, and feeling for the first time what unconditional love really meant. It was profound. It was profound to say the least, and that completely changed the trajectory of my life. Started me on the healing path and healing journey of it really exploring myself and my consciousness, and really, looking through the different world religions and practices to get a better orientation of what is life and why am I here? Really now asking these questions of like, well, since God is real, what does that mean for me? And how does that, how do I show up in responsibility to this awareness now that I've been blessed to have and blessed to carry? So yeah, through all that, and then coming to the point of becoming a father myself. And 2 days after Cairo was born, my son, who's now 3, I prayed. I said, God, if you want me to commit myself fully to this men's work, to showing up for my brothers, then give me a sign and find me a place where I can lead weekly men's circles. couple weeks later, my bro Franco reaches out and says, yo, I got some studio space in my tattoo studio. If you want to do any kind of gatherings or meetings or anything, you're welcome. And so that's where kind of the genesis PreSacred Sons began, and built the momentum, and led me into this sacred space of working with the traumas that we've inherited from our fathers and our forefathers and our mothers and their foremothers. So really creating the safe and alchemical spaces where men can really do this work of healing, of grieving, and of really taking ownership of what's ours to own, and forging a new path forward. Because once we have the awareness that, okay, I'm not alone. Okay, yeah, there's something greater. I'm a part of something greater. Maybe they don't have a direct, like, yes, I believe in Jesus Christ, or yes, like Buddha is my way, but just something greater. There's a greater power, a greater energy, the force of love, whatever you want to call it, but giving men a direct experience of that really opens a door for men to explore for themselves. Well, what is sacred to me? And how do I want to honor that? So, yeah, and that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
There it is. Yeah. I mean, you are a pillar of the men's work movement. And I say that not even just because of social media presence or Sacred Sons, but also just the way that it is like what you're devoted to. It feels like it is your life's mission, your life's purpose, at least for right now. It is very much like to support men in this.